Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Scribble Time. Today we'll be drawing Adventure Time pandas. So get your grooves on and let's start sketching. All right. So provide your own prompts for Adventure Time from Cartoon Network. I watched the show for a few seasons and I wasn't able to get the rest of them after Netflix decided not to show it for a little bit. But we have, I thoroughly enjoyed the show by Penn Ward. So we're going to draw a few of them, starting with, let me just get my references up. Where'd it go? Okay, so we're just going to start with Finn and Jake. And let's see. Okay, so we got... We'll do a Finn and a Jake panda like so. Of course, Finn likes to wear this little suit, little hat with the little hat with ears on it already, so that'd make it easy. Let's see. So anyways, hope you guys are off. Your Tuesdays are doing well. I have my second day with coffee, so I think yesterday was a little bit rough because my stomach wasn't used to drinking coffee for quite a while. So I'm getting back into the coffee game. I just love the smell of coffee and the taste of it. It took me a while because I actually I didn't drink coffee until I was I think during university, and even then I didn't really like it all that much. The coffee I drank was just like loaded with like sugar and cream. We used to have this place in Oregon called Dutch Brothers. They're still around. I hope they're still around. But they're kind of more of the sweet, sugary type of coffee. But they would make like their chocolate mochas with they would make the chocolate mochas with chocolate milk. So, but I used to go there every so often. I wasn't drinking that much coffee back then, but once I moved up here to Seattle, it's like, it's pretty inevitable that everybody's drinking coffee. Let me see. I'm gonna just not draw the nose because Finn the human is. I'm gonna draw him as a human. I'm also gonna give him I'll give him a sword. Why not? Let's give him a fantasy sword. But Adventure Time is like I don't know, it's a very interesting show. Just like you never thought, and I still think, they still have a big influence on like how cartoons are made today, and I think it's kind of stems from that like movement towards like it's like a combination of like Rubber Hose, but with with also a design sensibility from like the more modern TV shows in terms of the pipeline. So it's kind of a interesting mixture. Let's see, I'll just do that. And yeah, so the past couple of days have been pretty busy. I'm actually working on a comic too, trying to get in the time to write that comic for the Punching Pandas. So I'm looking forward to showing that to you all. Writing is kind of a tricky thing, and I think the thing is like when you see a comic sometimes and you're like, oh, I can, like, you can draw it, right? Like that's something I can draw, but to actually think of it and think of the idea and bring that to life is a much different process. So I'm kind of going through that right now, just trying to, I'm looking at the comics, trying to study what they do, and this one's like a short comic, so it would feel like it would fit in some anthology, but anthology is not where I want to ultimately be. It's just what I'm just practicing this as a form factor, right? So it's like it's like I'm wanting to cook, but I need to learn how to make a dish first versus like jumping into a full 9-course meal. So I like to use my analogies for food often when I talk about cooking. And each culture and each type of art has their own like style and some sort of rules or base. Also with like cooking, what's interesting too is just to go off on a tangent. Seems like and I didn't read about any of this. I'm basically going off based upon like my observations. But like there's I noticed when I was making some Italian food. I don't really cook French or I cook probably more Italian. But there was a while where I was like doing looking up recipes, and I was like, oh, they so happen to use a lot. Like the beginning steps would say, oh, use these ingredients. Always use carrots, onions, and celery, and came to learn that was what's called the mirepoix, or it's like the Holy Trinity, and it's kind of like the spices that you use to kind of establish the base. And then when I started cooking more Chinese, it was like, oh, you use like ginger, onion, ginger, green onion, and garlic, and that's kind of like that culture's Holy Trinity. And then I started cooking a little bit more Vietnamese, and now it's like, oh, well, you use like what would it Vietnamese be? I think it's like it seems like it's more like fish sauce, chili, and garlic, I think. I mean, they also use like green onions and ginger too. It's just I think that's tends to be more of their flavor. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so we got Hans coming in here with Glob or Golb. Which one is Golb? Golb is I think I might. Oh, okay. He was definitely after I stopped tuning into the show. Not because I didn't stop watching the show because I lost interest, but it's more like I think it was on Netflix. Then I didn't switch from there, but I'd be happy to draw him. Okay, so let's get these two guys. Add some jewels here. A little sleeve like that, and then Jake, of course. Such a weird, just weird, interesting designs, but they work, And I think it doesn't necessarily mean like you have to have like the best designs out there. Or you just have to have like good designs you just make good designs as best as you can, and the rest will fall in line, and you just start with something and then make it start having fun with it. Of course, these are made into my panda, sort of my panda shape, so I'm gonna go with this. Or I guess I'll give him the ears. Here, I'll move them over just slightly. I was listening to this one interview of from DiMaggio, the guy who voices Jake from the show, and he was reviewing a bunch of people doing his trying to do his voice, and he was always described Jake as like, yeah, he's like a big brother, and you just like you wrap them in a big hug, right? That's how I thought it was like a great description. And of course he's a magical dog. He has this. He has the rubber tube arms. Yeah, man. Mathematical. All right, so there you go. So there's the different styles. Not really got these two fun-loving guys. All right, so we got Jake and Finn. Let's move over to Golb. So Golb is kind of this, wow, pretty creepy looking guy. A little bit scary, but he's all good. Oh. Very interesting design. Let's put that guy off to the side. Like so. So this is to show you guys how to draw for reference here. I'm just going to take the base. So our base is like this, right? So it's always starting with the chubby marshmallow shape. And then he's always going to be like... oh boy, this is so weird. Okay, we're going to go start with some simple shapes. He's going to have a big... So this is like where the panda head would be. But of course we're going to modify it just slightly. It's gonna have these weird like tentacle kind of things. We're not gonna make the head too tall, but we're gonna make him definitely a little squattier to kind of fit the panda profile. So I'm going to give him my panda eyes like that. I hope this guy, I think he's I never heard of this guy before, but I hope he's a cool dude. You know, he's like the guy at the party who's like nobody talks to. Because he's like, man, that guy's kind of weird. But maybe inside he's just has a lot of love. Is that true, Hans? I hope so. If he's straight up just evil, then yeah, then that might be an issue. Okay, so then we're gonna go like this, and then go like that. Oh boy, this guy's creeping me out. Okay, so let's go. Actually, let's make it a bit taller. So it's about like minimizing some things and emphasizing some other things. So I'm just gonna just do that. Let's make it a little bit less. Okay, then he's gonna have some. We'll give him the panda ears like so. Got these, give these weird textural things. Little bumps. These little, I don't know what these things are. I think they're like little Tetris pieces. Yeah, don't be afraid to draw scary things, folks. Because sometimes you get some pretty interesting things. Like, you can't have a good hero without having a great villain, so scarier the monster, the more heroic our hero has to be. Not saying he's a villain, because I actually don't know who he is, but he kind of looks like a villain. Just looks like a weird type of guy. Okay, then he's just okay, I'm just gonna give him this other glove here. That's what I like. I kind of like about this show is that there's a lot of it's just like strange designs that really don't, you wouldn't really think. Like if you just looked at just Disney stuff, and you wouldn't necessarily get some of these type of designs. Although he is influenced by Disney as well. I think he also is a Cal Arts grad, if I remember right. So there definitely is some overlap. Let's give him some toes, actually. Let's make some room for his toes. So anyways, like I said, if you're new to the show, I offer these sketches as free downloads on my website at punchingpandas.com/scribbletime. Go check those out, and those are available for you guys. I might have to reformat the website a little bit because we're making a lot of drawings these days, so I need to actually I think what we need to do, I think I need to make these eyes big like that. Alright, so there you have gold. Afternoon, Hector. This is Adventure Time. So we're doing Adventure Time Pandas. So if you have any suggestions, please list out your favorite Adventure Time character you would like to see. Okay. Hector's probably like, what is this? What did I just walk into? Okay, I'm going to do Lumpy Space Princess next. Lumpy Space Princess is actually voiced by Penn Ward himself. She's kind of a high maintenance type of individual. So I'm gonna put Galb over there. Lumpy Space Princess is basically let's try to format it around. I might have drawn her once, I think, before for someone at a convention. I can't really remember. But she's always like just grumpy all the time. She's just super bored. Talks like a teenage girl, but with the voice of a 40-year-old man. Or 30-year-old man, I think. Crossing these arms is always another. It's always been like a challenge every time I draw my characters. Is like he can't really fold his arms because his arms are a little bit too chubby. But I'll work with it. The hardest part is actually drawing these arms. Okay, so there's usually like a big lump up here. Then there's like another lump. Her silhouette kind of gets... I'm just building up the panda base here so that, you know, I can at least keep some semblance of the panda. We'll see how it goes. So these kind of... I have kind of like these landmarks that I keep track of to make sure that she's sort of resembling my panda. And then she has like the star right here. I think I might need to make this a little bit bigger. Yeah. I'll get her like a couple of ears. All right, so there we go. Lumpy Space Princess. All right. And I'm gonna do. Let's see. Maybe chowder. Yeah, these days I don't watch too much TV, but I mean, I only watch one show at a time, so it's kind of a shame, but okay, so we're gonna do Marceline next. Marceline's you know, kind of like the hipster vampire. Let's see, and then she has like, we'll go with like the older version. Let's see. Let's design the hair a little bit so it's like. Well, first let me draw her playing guitar, drawing. Or is it her? Sorry, it's her. Is it bass? I think might have been a bass. She has like an actual axe. I tried getting into e-guitar at some point, but actually had to. I gave the guitar away, but it was always something that I kind of wanted to get back into. But I think I have to take care of some other expenses first. Let's just say. But I always thought it was cool just to. You know, that you can actually create the body from pretty much anything. I saw one guy like actually take a bunch of colored pencils and basically just epoxy them all together, and then yeah, then he made a guitar body out of that, which is pretty cool. And because she's a vampire, she can float, so... Let's move Lumpy Space Princess out of the way. Then she will be wearing these jeans. Okay, we'll do that next. Every time I draw guitars, it's always like a challenge because you want to try to... There's a simple way to draw them, I guess, but it's always like I always want to make sure that they're somewhat accurate and feel like they fit. Okay, let's go like that. Actually, we'll add some panda ears here. Okay, so there's Marceline. Give her a, give her a t-shirt actually. Yeah, we'll give her a t-shirt. So then this could be all black. I think that about does it. Maybe just bring that up a little bit. All right. Excellent. Okay, we're gonna go with that. So there's our Marceline. Let's do who's another good character to do? We got Lumpy Space Princess. Let's do the Ice King. So we got Marceline there, Ice King. I guess we'll do Ice King next. Let's do the Ice King with his minions. How about? He's always hunched over all the time. He always has his big beard. He's got incredibly long nose. Let's turn off Marceline here. And I'm gonna go to the Ice King. Also voiced by Tom Kenny, who does SpongeBob SquarePants, for those of you who don't know. Let's make this he's got some jewels on his crown. He always has his plans foiled by Finn and Jake. Sometimes he's a good dude. Sometimes he can be a good dude. He tries hard. I think he needs his eyebrows. Down here, I think we need just, yeah. I'm also trying to learn the style as I go, so that's kind of why I'm not as confident as I'm drawing this, but it's fun, you know. Learning these different types of styles is a lot of fun. And I recommend just like doing that with any other kind of style, like Scooby-Doo or, you know, Looney Tunes. Little beard just kind of getting in the way of things. And then everything kind of ends on the cylinder at the bottom here. Yeah, I think this is like one of the first times I've drawn the Ice King. Definitely does not feel familiar in terms of like, sometimes you have a memory of stuff that you've drawn before. But I definitely have not drawn the Ice King before. And this, I think it's showing too. Okay. Alright, so we got a few more minutes here. So let's continue. Big thanks to those who've already like contributed. I'm gonna send out the images today. I had some of the old let's see, maybe I need to do that. Yeah, let's do this. I had some of the old Scribble Time sketches from on our Wednesdays. I do traditional drawings, and so I posted those for sale to help out my nephew, who took a fall from a third-story window. So I'm basically sending all the proceeds to them from those sales. So thank you for those who have already contributed. You guys can pay. There's a couple more sketches available. You guys can basically name your price, and I'll just ship it out to you for free. And all the proceeds would go to my sister and her son's family, my sister's family. So they had to deal with that. But thankfully he's healthy. He just had suffered a lacerated kidney. So that's but he's on his way to full recovery. Okay. Alright, so I spent enough time on the Ice King. Let's move on to who's another type of character that we can do for Adventure Time. Please post it in the chat if you guys are watching. Let's see. Princess Buttercup. We can do Princess Buttercup. Or not, Princess Buttercup is from from the Princess Bride. I think Princess Bubblegum, someone completely different. Well, I'll make her a panda then. And she also has like these balloon sleeves. Kind of makes her feel like she's hunched over a little bit. But let's try to switch this out here. Give her more hair. She needs more hair. this here. It's almost like it's a heart too, which is kind of cool. So like if you, it's like her shape language is all about hearts. Let's give her actually a lot more hair. Let's bring this shape all the way back here. Minimize that shape. Okay, so there's a Princess Bubblegum. Although I want to make more of this hair, like maybe I need to really just push it out. It's gonna get a little bit comical, but then again, it is Adventure Time. Okay, then her headband kind of goes over. Maybe we can make this super comical here, bring it out. So there you have it. There's our Princess Bubblegum. All right. Now I think what's her comes Butler. Oh yeah, I think there was like a Peppermint Butler, right? Yeah. Let's put him as. I also make him sort of like a. Well, it's kind of hard. Maybe I can do. What's another? Oh, what was that elephant? Yeah, there was like this elephant that was. Talk like a grandma or something like that. What's it? What's his name? Oh yeah. I also have to do BMO. Okay, here. Let me just. I also got to add penguins to it too. Of course, I could have figured out about BMO. Little penguin sidekicks. Okay. All right. Now we gotta do BMO. BMO is like the Game Boy character. That's. And we'll end it with BMO actually. So. That seems like it's a fitting ending. Let's see. Let me just bring it out here. I'll make him a little stouter than what he's normally drawn at. Got maybe some select buttons and start buttons there. Give him my panda legs. And he also has like a speaker box somewhere here. Give some room for these letters. B M O. Okay. I'm gonna give some robot ears too, or some panda ears as well. Alright, so there we go. That's our Adventure Time Pandas. So thanks a lot, everyone, for hanging out. If you like what you see, just like this video. Tell your friends about it. If you have other friends who are looking for other artists to just interact and live stream, these coloring sheets are available at punchingpandas.com/scribbletime. So they'll be uploaded within the day or two. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I always read all the comments. I try to get to them eventually. And I'm just an independent artist based in the Seattle area. So if you're in the Seattle area, tell your friends about it. Or if you're on the West Coast, you can have, you can also tune in at 11 a.m. Pacific time. I'm probably going to be switching up this slot pretty soon, maybe within the next week or two, just to make room for other things I have in my schedule. So be on the lookout for that. You guys can also subscribe to my mailing list by going to punchingpandas.com, and you guys can get the latest news on that. So with that said, thanks a lot for joining in with Scribble Time. My name is Nolan Lee. Go check out more of the work at punchingpandas.com. And we'll see you tomorrow. We'll be doing some more sketching with some pencils and traditional materials. So talk to you guys soon, and see you guys tomorrow. Bye.